All right. So tonight we are going to talk about branding. So let me share my screen. Can you see that?
Yep.
Great. So I'm going to talk tonight about creating your brand. So as I mentioned, like really your brand is really you. So in this business of Beachbody coaches, there are over 400,000 coaches. And each one of us kind of brings our own unique way of doing this business. And that is your brand. Your brand is not Beachbody. Your brand is not, Shakeology. Your brand is not, 21 Day Fix. Your brand is you. And so we're going to talk about like what that is and what that means. Um, okay. So here's what we're going to cover. Like what is brand and why is it important? What are the key characteristics of a brand? Like how do you know what a good brand looks like? And that's your characteristics is how you identify a good brand. We'll talk about things to consider when creating your own brand and then also how to validate your brand. And that's really, really cool. So what is a brand and why is it important? So one of the things that I'm learning is that like brand means different things to different people. Like it basically is what differentiates one product or service from the other out there in the marketplace, right? So if you think of how that relates to us, thinks about like when you think of your target market, the people that you are appealing to, the people that are considered to be what Chalene Johnson calls in your tribe, you want to create a brand, like a way that you represent you and what you have to offer in the marketplace in a way that enables them to feel like, she gets me. Like this person gets me. This person is speaking my language. So it appeals directly to your target market. And as I mentioned, like who you feel like your tribe is. So when you think of like that person or that woman that you really want to attract into your business, like that's your tribe, and we'll talk more about that. In your brand, when you think about your tribe, it's basically like it's a shared commonality. So if you think of the people that you're trying to attract, what do you have in common with them? Your brand also enables you to really develop trust and credibility. So by enabling them to feel like, she gets me, they look at you as somebody that they trust and that they find credible because you've been in their shoes, you've walked in their shoes. So as I mentioned when we first started, like Beachbody is not your brand. You are your brand. And that's what differentiates you from the thousands of other coaches that are in this business. So that's a little bit about what a brand is. So let's talk about like characteristics of a brand. So how do you know when a brand is a really good one? It really comes down to whether or not it distinguishes you from anybody else doing a similar business. So it distinguishes you, it differentiates you. If it's too, like you have to ask yourself the question, is it too generic? Is who I'm trying to appeal to the masses, right? Is it too generic? Or can I think of one particular person that I'm trying to relate to? And what is it about that person that we share in common and define that? And by doing that, it builds trust, it demonstrates your value because it establishes that common bond. It establishes you as credible because you've had those experiences. It also, and this is a big one for me, it instills action. Like, does your brand really inspire somebody to take action? It motivates, which sort of relates to the action piece. It's relevant and then it appeals emotionally. So A lot of times you hear, out there in the marketing world that there are certain sort of characteristics of your brand that are things like demographics. And demographics, like, yeah, those certainly like can help you narrow your target market, but really where the rubber meets the road for brand, it's all about appealing to somebody emotionally. And you do that by identifying what is an unmet need that they have and how can I meet that. So it's very specific, it's relatable. And I love this quote, and this is something I've gotten really, really clear on lately, is that when you stop trying to be all things to all people and you just be you, then you are appealing to those who really matter. Like when we try to appeal to too many people, we end up losing ourselves in the process.
Love that.
I know, right? Yeah, that's good stuff. So things to consider when you're creating your brand. So there's a couple different things, and I kind of bucketed them in two different areas. First is like, what should you consider about you and what makes you your brand versus who is your target market, and they're separate but related. So first, it's you as your brand. So it's asking yourself like these types of questions. What makes you different? What is it about you that nobody else might have had the experience with? Or what are some of the life experiences that you've had where you can provide some value to other people? Like what have you experienced when you think about like your own shoes that you've walked in? What are those experiences that you've had that can provide value to others? Also things like what excites you? What's your passion? Like what gets you really jazzed up when you think of conversation, like great conversations that you have with people? Like what's your sweet spot? And also, like, is there something that, like, a lot of us as coaches really feel like, oh, like, in order to be credible and to have somebody trust me, like, I have to have it all figured out. Like, I have to have already begun my journey, right? Whether it's weight loss or anything else, or, parenting our kids or whatever it is that we have life experiences in, we think that in order to help somebody else, we have to have it all figured out. And that's not the case. Like, what is it that you are going through right now? What is it that, like, is it, trying to, like, I'm just thinking of, Alicia, for you, like, just even finishing up school, like, working full time, going to school at night, working in education, trying to, like, really make a career for yourself, which is a little bit, non-traditional.
Yeah.
For somebody your age, like, that's an experience that you've had that others, like, if you think about, like, that could be in your niche market, like appealing to people who, like, you work hard, you're going after what you want, you are, doing things in a way that's non-traditional. Like, that's something that you just went through that others could possibly relate to, and then when I think about like your target market, it's thinking about like who are those people that share that common bond with you. Like, who would you? Liz always says this. Like, who would you want to invite for coffee? Like, if you think about like having a great conversation with someone, what is it about that person that appeals to you? And like write down those characteristics. What is it that you have in common? What is an experience that you've had that she can relate to? And what unmet needs might she have that you could help with as a result, even if you don't have it all figured out? But by helping, that's why I put this at the bottom that says, look, we don't have to have all the solutions or have it all figured out. People often don't want the solutions. Like, do they want tips and do they want suggestions? And yes, but if you think about the epidemic in America today around obesity, it's not because we have a lack of knowledge or solutions, right? There are so many tools and gimmicks and diets. There's so many things out there. It's not because people need knowledge or information. They don't need answers. They want to know that somebody's on their side. They want to be supported. They want to be a part of a community that's going to build them up, because that's an innate need that we all have. They want to know that you understand. So when we think about like unmet needs that people might have, think about it from an emotional sense, not from a solution sense. Does that make sense? Like that was a tongue twister.
That was very helpful.
Oh, good. All right. So this is something that I learned taking this class that I mentioned, where it's developing your brand marketing strategy. And so this is sort of the equation that they recommend, or if you think about like how to really define your brand strategy, these are some things that you want to think about. So in the parentheses, it's sort of like fill in the blanks, right, as you're trying to create your statement. So the first line says, for, in parentheses, target market niche. So like this could be like for recent college grads, or it could be for, like for me, it's for, corporate mamas, or it could be for moms of newborns, or moms of twins, or moms of autistic children. Whatever your target market niche is, define that here. So for blank, insert your target market niche, that, and then define their unmet emotional needs that are tired from the daily grind, that are having challenges trying to keep up with the demands of work and family, that are really looking for a community of women to support them, like whatever that unmet emotional need is, or that are looking for ways to start a new career. And then the next piece is you insert your business name, promises to blank. What is it that you offer? What's your promise to your clients? And then by offering, and this is where you define, those services that you offer, backed by, and this is where you insert, like, what are the own experiences that you've had that give you the credibility to be able to offer this promise, to address the need for, like, define what that need is, since we understand this, like what's the kind of emotional piece that you're appealing to. So these are all like fill in the blanks that really take some time to think about and make it really, really specific. And I had to go through this cycle like a few different times to really get to a brand statement that kind of went aha to me, like, oh my gosh, got me so excited. And it was kind of like I hit my head and said, I can't believe I didn't think of this before. Like it was really that basic. And I'm going to share it with you just as an example. So here's mine. So for me, it's the part that I feel like I have to offer is I'm a working mom, I'm a runner, and I'm a dreamer. I have goals. So I want to do it all. And I don't feel like I have to give up on my own dreams just because of all the other important things in my life. And I feel like there are others out there like that for me. So for me, I had to define, like, for working moms who want to become stronger, faster runners, yet struggle to find the time or the right approach. Freedom Runner Girl Fitness promises to provide quality nutritional plans and supplements, effective at-home cross-training workouts, one-on-one support and coaching, along with an encouraging community of other like-minded women. Backed by, and this is like where I get my credibility because I'm a runner. Like, so I have long distance running experience. I have the personal experience of a working mom training for multiple races, and then kind of my own, training tools and resources that I've developed because, and this is that unmet emotional need, because I understand the burning desire to pursue your own dreams while also keeping your family your main priority. So that, like, once I got to this place, I was like, yes. And I can picture this woman like me who is changing out of her heels into her sneakers at the end of the day, feeling guilty because she feels like she needs to be home with her family, but she's feeling guilty about going for a run. Like, I know that because I felt that. So I can picture that woman across the table from me having coffee, and I can picture what I want to say to her. Do you know what I mean? Does that help?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, cool. So it takes some time to, like, this is mine, but yours will be exactly like for you. It'll be your experiences. It'll be like things that you've gone through. It'll click for you kind of in that same way where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is me, you know? All right. So that's my example. So the next part that we went through is, and this was super, super helpful, is how to validate your brand. So one of the suggested ways to really validate your brand is to do it through social media, to see if you were to define those people that are in your target market, how many people would it yield? And there's a couple different ways to do that. One is through Facebook ads, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. Let's check on time. I'll show that to you really quick because it's really cool. And then secondly is by looking at Instagram hashtags. Like when you come up with Instagram hashtags that define your target market, like for me, it might be things like, mama runner or corporate mom or, mom seeking balance, like something like that. Going after my dreams. Like when I put in those hashtags, who pops up? Is it the right people that I'm looking for in my target market or not? Then if not, then I need to like really refine my hashtags, and do my hashtags represent my brand? That makes sense? Like it's all got to relate. Now, Facebook ads, which I'm going to show you in a second, like when you really narrow down, and I haven't run ads. Is my connection still okay?
Yeah, it went out for a little bit, but
It did? Okay. I hope this records okay. It's telling me it's unstable. You can hear me now though?
yes.
Okay, cool. So, actually, let me just show you. Let me go to Facebook and let me show you how I looked at my target market. And the suggested target, like that you want to reach, is roughly about like 300,000 to 800,000. You don't want more than that. So let me go to Facebook. Let me go to my page. All right, so when I go to Freedom Runner Girl Fitness and I go to up to the top, I want to go to create ad. I'm not actually going to do the ad, but I just want to see, like, if I were to do a targeted ad, am I reaching the right people? So I go to promote your page. I choose Freedom Runner Girl. I go to the bottom. Oops. I say get audience. Okay. So here, It allows me to pinpoint who I want to reach when I want to promote my page. So these are old ones. Let me just X out of these for a sec. Okay, so I know for me, like I want to include people in the US and I want to also include Canada because we know that Beachbody is in Canada as well. And now 18 to 65, that's a good target market. Like I could change the age here if I wanted to. I could make this younger, I could make it older. So I know I just want to target women. So as I make the changes here in my demographics, you can see my audience definition over here on the side. Tell me how many people it'll yield. So it'll say, like here, if I'm targeting the US and Canada, and I want people 18 to 65 in the female range, it's targeting 112 million people. Now, the more I add, that's going to go down. So I'm going to add here some demographics. I'm going to say, okay, for demographics, like I know for me, I'd like to like target people who are college grads. I also want to target people who, go down, want to target people who are in my generation. I also want to, you see this number is going down, now 67 million. Now I want to target, moms. So I'm going to go to parents, I'm going to go to moms. Here I want corporate moms, like fit moms. I want moms that I can relate to. So I want moms of grade school kids and high school kids because that's my target market. If I was a new mom, I would go for like moms of new babies and things like that. So now I'm over here at 72 million people. Far, far too much. So let me go over here. Okay. You can do this free form too, or you can browse, like you can go to interests and you can say, okay, like I want people who are into fitness, people that are into physical fitness and running. So somehow I jumped up to 85 million people. Now here, these are all sort of like pretty loose definitions. Like it could be a corporate mom, it could be a fit mom, it could be moms of this. If I want to narrow that audience even further, I want to choose down here, I want to either exclude people or I want to narrow my audience. So here, I know that I want long distance runners because I like the longer races. So I'm going to do, I want people who are into long distance running. Now I could choose half marathons, I could choose full marathons, and you can see like with adding those two, now I'm down to 5 million. Still too high. So I want to narrow that even further. And like for me, because faith is a big thing, I'll put in something like, how about people who follow Proverbs 31 Ministries? So that's another field narrower. And why is this? Later. I can't really see this. Let me scroll up. There we go. So now, see how I jumped to like 230,000?
Yeah.
So that's probably like a little bit too low. So I might come in up here and say, okay, let me take off the half marathon and let me just keep long distance running. Or maybe instead of Proverbs Ministries, I take that off and maybe I go to like focus on the family. Let me see what that yields. Okay, 440,000 people. I know that that's in my range because the range I want to target is between like 300,000 and 800,000. So it enables you to like play with the different fields to see, okay, is my target niche too broad, or am I making it specific enough? So for me, I know I want corporate moms of school-age kids who, are into faith and like long distance running.
I had no idea this existed.
Isn't it cool?
It's awesome.
Now, like what I can do is I could run an ad. I could specifically target those 440,000 people. And by making it more narrow, I'm going to get more quality hits on my page, more people liking my page or liking my ad that I'm looking for. So it's definitely like you can spend a few dollars. I don't know if you've ever done Facebook ads, but they're really cheap. You could do this to increase like the number of likes on your page. You could do it to advertise one of your challenge groups. I've done both. And it's just a way to get, visibility out there, but you have to be really narrow with your target market.
Do you think this really works? Like, has it helped you grow your audience?
Doing ads, you mean?
Yes.
I have done a couple, and yeah, like I've gotten more visibility. I don't know that I haven't tried it this narrow yet. Like I haven't done it using this new technique, so I'm excited to try. I almost did it today from my page, but I decided that I didn't want to boost my page likes. Like I'm more interested in advertising for my challenge. So, and I just had a hard time coming up with what my ad would look like for my challenge, but I plan to do it, and I'm really, really interested to see how that's going to go.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I want to be really strategic about what my image looks like and what I put in my, in my ad for the challenge to make sure that it like really speaks to my brand. So that is how to validate your target market niche. Isn't that cool?
Very cool.
So,
Definitely gonna try that out.
cool. I'm so glad. So from here, like the last piece is once you have your brand, then everything that you do, your blog posts, your social media posts, if you do email newsletters, should all represent that brand, where every single interaction, your posts, your blogs, you're always thinking of that target market and how are you appealing to their unmet need. So every single interaction has got to provide some type of value to your target market that hits at that unmet need. And that's why brand is like so, so important. So that's what I have for you tonight. What questions do you have for me?
I don't think anything. This has been super helpful.
I'm glad. Good.
This is exactly what I needed.
Good. Well, that's why I'm like, things, you're a God girl, like things don't happen by chance. Like the fact that it's you and I tonight, I think is really cool because like I said, as I've been going through this class, I've really been thinking of you and your blog. And I'm excited to learn more so I could share more with you. So
This has been so helpful.
good. I'm so glad. Well, I'm going to stop sharing and then we can go to any other general questions. So here we go. Let me stop recording.